Have you ever wondered whether your body is aging faster than what your birth date suggests? And what if I told you that your longevity can be predicted with just 7 simple movements you can do right in your living room? If you're over 65 and struggle to perform even 2 of them, it could be a quiet warning sign that your independence is at risk. But here's a truth many doctors know and rarely share. These functional signals matter far more than any expensive supplement. In this video, we're going to uncover these 7 essential mobility tests and, most importantly, how to regain them at home. Stay until the end, because movement number 7 is the strongest predictor of survival and can literally add healthy years to your life. Movement number 1. Standing up from a chair without using your hands. Let's start with the first indicator, something you probably do many times a day without thinking, standing up from a chair without using your hands. I want you to be completely honest with yourself for a moment. When you're sitting in your favorite armchair or at the kitchen table, how do you stand up? Do you instinctively grab the armrest to push yourself up, or do you rock your body forward and back to build momentum before rising? Many of my patients say, "It's just a habit," or "I'm just being careful." But as a doctor, I see something else. Relying on your hands to stand up isn't just a habit, it's a biological signal. It indicates that your quadriceps and glutes, the large muscles of your thighs and hips, are weakening. This is called sarcopenia. Think of these muscles as your body's braking system. When they're weak, you lose the ability to recover your balance if you trip. That's why difficulty standing up from a chair is often the #1 predictor of falls in the bathroom or on stairs. Now, for the good news, studies confirm that older adults who can perform this movement smoothly have twice the chance of living independently well into their 90s, without walkers or nursing care. How do we fix it? You don't need a gym, just a sturdy chair. Sit down, scoot slightly toward the edge, and cross your arms over your chest like a genie. Now stand up using only your legs, then sit back down slowly, without dropping. Stay in control. If you can do this 5 times in a row every morning, you're already rebuilding that essential braking system. Movement number 2. Picking something up from the floor. Let's move on to the second movement, the ability to bend down and pick something up from the floor. It sounds simple, but the fear of the floor is very real. I've seen people drop a pen or the TV remote and just leave it there, afraid they'll get dizzy or throw out their back if they bend down. But here's the expert truth. Difficulty bending down is rarely just a bad back. Most of the time, it's lack of hip mobility. When your hips become stiff and rusty like an old hinge, your lower back has to do all the heavy work, and that's why it hurts. Stiff hips also cause that shuffling walk you often see in nursing homes, where people barely lift their feet. Let me tell you about Nancy Miller, a lovely 72-year-old woman. Last winter, she dropped her car keys in her driveway. With her hips very stiff, she bent at the waist with straight legs. Her back locked instantly, and she fell. It took months of physical therapy to recover. If she'd maintained hip flexibility, that Tuesday morning would have been just another normal day. Please don't ignore this. You can regain this mobility by practicing deep hip hinges or slow squats, holding on to the kitchen counter. Start gently. Place a small towel on the floor and practice picking it up once a day, using your legs and hips, not your spine. Movement number 3, raising your arms fully overhead. Now the third movement, lifting your arms completely overhead. Next time you're in the kitchen, try reaching for a bowl on the highest shelf. Can you raise your arms straight until your biceps touch your ears? Or do you feel a sharp pinch in your shoulder? Do you have to arch your back just to reach? You might think, fine, I just won't use the top shelf. But this movement reveals the health of your thoracic spine and, surprisingly, your lungs. Here's the science. When you lose the ability to raise your arms, your rib cage becomes stiff and compressed. This physically limits how much your lungs can expand. You end up breathing shallowly. Less air means less oxygen for your brain and muscles. That's a major reason so many older adults feel chronically tired or mentally foggy in the afternoon. It's not just age, it's lack of oxygen. Over time, this stiffness also creates the hunched upper back posture often called a widow's hump. To prevent this, try a simple exercise called wall angels. Stand with your back against a wall. Try to keep your head, shoulders, and the backs of your hands against the wall as you slowly raise and lower your arms like making a snow angel. It may feel difficult at first, but it opens your chest and literally helps you breathe better. Before we continue, I want to hear from you. If you've ever felt short of breath reaching for something high, or you want to improve your lung health, comment the word "breathe" below. It's a great reminder to care for your posture today. Movement number 4, balancing on one leg. Now let's talk about the fourth movement, balancing on one leg. Have you noticed wobbling when you put on your pants in the morning, or needing to grab the towel rack when stepping into the shower? Balance isn't just about muscles. It's a rapid conversation between your eyes, inner ear, and brain. When that conversation slows down, we fall. In fact, medical studies show that being unable to balance on one leg for 10 seconds is linked to a higher risk of cognitive decline, a sign that brain processing speed is decreasing. You can test it now, carefully. Stand near a wall or sturdy chair. Lift one foot and count slowly. If you can't reach 8 seconds without support, your body is waving a red flag. The solution fits easily into daily life. I call it flamingo brushing. Every morning and night while brushing your teeth, stand on one leg. You're at the sink, so support is nearby if needed. By the time you're done, you've trained your brain and body for a full 2 minutes. Simple, free, and incredibly effective. Movement number 5, walking at a brisk pace. The fifth movement is walking briskly. I'm not talking about a leisurely stroll to smell the flowers. I mean walking with purpose, like you're 5 minutes late for lunch. In medicine, walking speed is often called an additional vital sign, alongside blood pressure and pulse. Why? Because to walk fast, your heart must pump efficiently, your lungs must move oxygen quickly, and your circulation must be clear. If you always lag behind friends or get winded walking to the mailbox, it reflects your cardiovascular endurance. I remember my friend Joe. He always said, "You go ahead, I'll catch up." He hated it. It made him feel old. So he decided to change. He didn't run marathons. He used the 10-minute test, walking for 10 minutes every day. At first, he went slowly, but each week he tried to cover a bit more distance in the same 10 minutes. Today, Joe leads our morning walking group. If 10 minutes feels like too much, start with 3 and add 1 next week. The heart is a muscle. It responds to training like any other. Movement number 6, neck mobility. We're almost there. The sixth movement, often forgotten when we talk about safety in older adults, is the ability to fully turn your neck from side to side. Imagine you're driving. You signal to change lanes. Can you still turn your head far enough to check the blind spot? Or do you have to rotate your whole torso like an old swivel chair just to see? A stiff neck is more than discomfort. It's a real danger. When the cervical vertebrae stiffen, they can compress the carotid artery, the main vessel supplying blood to the brain. Reduced blood flow slows reflexes and reaction time. On the road, those seconds can be the difference between safety and an accident. I've seen too many older adults sadly give up their driver's license, not because of poor vision or shaky hands, but because they couldn't turn their neck. Losing a license often leads to isolation. No driving, no grocery trips, no visits with family or friends, until only 4 walls and the TV remain. I don't want that for you. I want you firmly in the driver's seat of your own life, literally and figuratively. So care for your neck starting today, 2 to 3 minutes daily. Do this. Sit upright, shoulders relaxed. Inhale slowly. Turn your head left as far as comfortable. No forcing, no pain. Hold 3 seconds. Look into the distance as if searching for someone in a crowd. Exhale and return to center. Repeat to the right. Do 5 times per side, slow and gentle. Then lower your chin to your chest and gently tilt it slightly back. No more. Hold 3 seconds each way. These movements lubricate neck joints, prevent discs from sticking, improve circulation, and, most importantly, keep reflexes sharp. Do this daily, and within 2 or 3 weeks you'll notice a clear difference, easier neck movement, more confident driving, and greater independence for years to come. If you find this information truly useful, if you're already applying it or thinking, "Yes, I need to try this tomorrow," comment below with 1 word. Movement number 7, from the floor to standing. Finally, we reach movement number 7, the most important one, the ability to sit on the floor and stand back up. I know what many of you are thinking. Doctor, I haven't sat on the floor in 20 years. I understand. The fear is getting stuck down there. But doctors call this the sit-to-stand test, and it's possibly the most complete assessment of functional aging we have. It requires strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination, all working together. Older adults who can get down to the floor to play with grandchildren and then stand back up live, statistically longer. It shows you have the functional reserve to recover from illness or a fall. If you can't do it right now, please don't feel bad, and don't attempt it alone if you're unsure. But don't accept defeat either. You can retrain it. Start with a chair. Practice kneeling onto one knee while holding the chair, then pushing yourself back up. As you get stronger, rely less on the chair. Remember, practice makes permanent. Your body is forgiving, and it's waiting to be challenged. Start gently, but start today. As we near the end, I want to return to Frank, the 78-year-old neighbor I mentioned earlier. Remember how I told you he now hikes with his grandchildren? What I didn't tell you is that his journey began with movement number 7. 6 months ago, Frank fell in his living room. He wasn't badly hurt, but he lay on the carpet for 20 minutes waiting for his son. Those 20 minutes terrified him. They made him feel old and helpless. But he didn't let that fear define him. He practiced daily using a solid dining chair, down to one knee, then back up. Day after day, week after week, he didn't just rebuild his quads and glutes. He rebuilt his confidence and dignity. And that's exactly what I want for you. Today we covered 7 critical movements, from standing up from a chair to balancing on one leg. Some felt easy, others challenging, and that's okay. Listen closely. Difficulty is not failure. Difficulty is simply your body telling you where it needs attention. It's an invitation to get stronger. So here's my question. It's not about doing all 7 perfectly tomorrow. It's about starting. Which movement will you focus on this week? Standing up from the chair while watching the news? Or flamingo balance while brushing your teeth? Make yourself a promise right now. In the comments, complete this sentence. I commit to improving my odri bao. For example, I commit to improving my balance, or I commit to improving my walking speed. Write it down. When you write it, it becomes real. And when you see others sharing their commitments, you'll realize you're not alone. We're in this together. If you found real value and hope in today's talk, please support it with a like so this message reaches other older adults who may be worried about their health. And to continue this journey with us and never miss another life-changing video, please subscribe. It's more than subscribing. It's joining a community committed to living our golden years with strength, independence, and joy. Finally, think of someone, a friend, a sibling, or your partner, who needs to hear this today. Share this video with them. You might be giving them the push they need to change their life. Thank you so much for watching and for trusting me with your time.